Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Nightly Narrations with myself, Brendan Barth. And we're continuing with The Richest Man in Babylon. We're still in the second chapter, going over the 7 cures to a lean purse. So far, we've heard 4 of them. One is to never to pay yourself first. That's actually the first one. Pay yourself first with 1/10 of all of your income. The second one is, I'm trying to get to where they are. The second one is to watch the expenditures. Specifically, don't spend over that 90%, but watch your expenditures also. Budget yourself every month. Know the difference between a desire versus a necessity, and keep the necessities, stick with the necessities and only get the desires when you can. And next is to make wise investments so that your saved money will earn you money, and watch out to not lose that principle. So let's continue tonight with the 5th cure. Tonight is make of thy dwelling a profitable investment. If a man setteth aside 9 parts of his earnings upon which to live and enjoy life, and if any part of this 9 parts he can turn into a profitable investment without detriment to his well-being, then so much faster will his treasures grow. So spake Arcad to his class on their 5th lesson. All too many of our men of Babylon do raise their families in unseemly quarters. They do pay two exacting landlords liberal rentals for rooms where their wives have not a spot to raise the blooms that gladden a woman's heart, and their children have no place to play their games except in the unclean alleys. No man's family can fully enjoy life unless they do have a plot of ground wherein children can play in the clean earth, and where the wife may raise not only blossoms but good rich herbs to feed her family. To a man's heart it brings gladness to eat the figs from his own trees and the grapes of his own vines, to own his own domicile, and to have it a place he is proud to care for. Putteth confidence in his heart and greater effort behind all his endeavors. Therefore I recommend that every man own the roof that sheltereth him and his. Nor is it beyond the ability of any well-intentioned man to own his home. Hath not our great king so widely extended the walls of Babylon that within them much land is now unused and may be purchased at sums most reasonable? Also, I say to you, my students, that the moneylenders gladly consider the desires of men who seek homes and land for their families. Readily may thou borrow to pay the brickmaker and the builder to which commendable purposes, if thou can show a reasonable portion of the necessary sum which thou thyself hast provided for the purpose. Then, when the house be built, thou canst pay the money lender for the same regularity as thou didst pay the landlord. Oh, thou canst. That's a really hard word. Can pay. We're going to get rid of the ST. Then when the house be built, you can pay the money lender in the same regularity as you did pay the landlord, because each payment will reduce thy indebtedness to the moneylender. A few years will satisfy his loan. Then will thy heart be glad, because thou wilt own in thy own right a valuable property, and thy only cost will be the king's taxes. Also wilt thou, good wife, go more often to the river to wash thy robes, that each time returning she may bring a goat skin of water to pour upon the growing things. Thus come many blessings to the man who owneth his own house, and greatly will reduce his cost of living, making available more of his earnings for pleasures and the gratification of his desires. This, then, is the fifth cure for a lean purse. Own thy own home. Okay, so saw an interesting stat the other day. Most millennials, and it feels weird saying that because I'm on the oldest part of the millennials, that 81 to 95 benchmark are not buying homes anymore. They're renting. And the Generation Z, the ones that come after, Zoomers, I think they're referred to, the Generation Z, the 25 and under, are definitely not looking at purchasing homes now. You own it. It's your land. And especially with interest rates now, I hear they're going up. I just bought my house a year ago, and it has been a very good, profitable aspect. My wife and I looked for a long time to rent. Our mortgage is less than what rentals would have cost. We wouldn't have owned our own place, and we wouldn't have as large of an area as large of a house. So that's something to think about. Own your own home. Not only that, in the future, you can use the equity inside your house if you need to borrow a portion of that to purchase things. They're great rates, things of that type of nature. So it's a way to definitely become more profitable and help against a lean purse. So that is all that I have for tonight. I hope that everybody enjoyed their Memorial Day, especially putting in mind the remembrance of those that gave the ultimate sacrifice of their lives for our freedoms today so that we can live in this great nation and celebrate. Until tomorrow, when we look at the sixth cure to a lean purse, have a good evening. Good night.